Hello everyone, my name is Amanda and welcome back to another video of the Planty Mandy. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful week so far. I just came back from San Diego. It was so hot there. I think the 4 or 5 days that I was there, the high temperature was like way over 90 degrees in Fahrenheit, and it was full sun. So it's a little bit too hot for San Franciscan like myself who are, more acclimated to cooler climates. But on the bright side, all the plants there are so happy. Like they grow really well because of the sun, and they're so colorful because of the sun. And that actually gave me this week's video idea, which is Sunkissed Hoyas. So now I know a lot of us Hoyas enthusiasts or collectors are really drawn to the beautiful foliage of Hoyas, especially when it's turned to this beautiful red or pink colors when they're exposed to highlight. So this phenomenon is actually caused by a pigment inside the plants called the anthocyanins. So it acts as a protector of the sun for the plants when it's exposed to too much light. It's essentially like our melanin in our skin. So when we go to like a woody sunny area, go to the beach or whatnot, when our skin are exposed to too much light, the melanin will actually travel from deep in our skin and go to the top of the skin surface and form this tan to protect us from being sunburned. So same as the plants, the anthocyanins will actually surface to the top of the leaves to form this red or pink or whatever color it is to protect the plants. So now this color is not limited to just red or pink. Sometimes it can be black, sometimes it can be purple. It really depends on the pH of the plant. So that's basically how the plants got that beautiful color. So forgive me of getting a little bit sciencey or technical there. I want to make sure that I explain to you how this mechanism works, because I know a lot of us want to achieve this beautiful color on the plants. So it is important for us to understand how the plant get this beautiful color without hurting the plants. So in this video, I'm going to show you a couple of my Hoyas that's a sun-kissed, and also I'm going to answer a question that I got the most on Instagram and Facebook, which is, how do you get your Hoya to be so red? And what kind of grow lights or what kind of lighting condition you provide your Hoyas? I'm gonna tell you all that in this video. So first of all, let's talk about lighting, because it is the single most important factors for us to be able to induce the beautiful coloring in our Hoyas. And I tried different grow lights before I experienced with them. So I have some yellow ones. I have some purple grow light, which is the blue and the red together. And I also have some white lights. So from my observation, I noticed that the one that is most effective to get the color out of the Hoyas is the full spectrum white light. And I believe that is due to the white light actually mimic the sun the best. And that's why it is more effective and efficient to get the color of the Hoyas. So now the second thing you look at, other than the color of the light, is the volume of the light. And the volume of the light is composed with two different factors. First of all is how strong is your light, the light intensity. And the second one is how long you leave your grow lights on. So for intensity-wise, in order to accurately measure it, you may need to get something called a par meter. So essentially, the par meter measures the numbers of photons, in the light beam. So I don't want to get too technical into it because I can do a whole other video for lights. But essentially, the par value measure how strong, let's say how strong your light is. Yeah, that's you go. And the other side is the duration. So obviously, the longer you leave your grow lights on, if you do use one, the more lights your plant's gonna get, and the color may come out faster that way. So to give you a reference point, I generally leave my grow lights on for 10 to 12 hours a day. So that's basically how long my Hoyas are exposed to the bright, full spectrum white lights every day to get this color out. Okay, enough technical stuff, and let's get to the Hoyas. So, yeah, I picked out a few Hoyas today, to illustrate like how sunlight actually, or lights actually, help to induce the beautiful color on the Hoya. But I also picked this particular ones just to show you that actually, other than lights, there are a couple other things, like small things that you want to consider or look at when you try to get your Hoyas that really beautiful sun-kissed looks. So let's get started. So this is my Hoya Tortoise Manager lenses. Okay, I know I butchered the name, but here you go. I got it from Gardino Nursery, obviously. And yeah, so when it first came to me, it's not red at all. It's just green. It's completely green. As you can see, this is a very, very succulent leaf species. So it took a while for me to get this like sun tan out from it. But yeah, it is sit under a full spectrum grow light about maybe 8 to 10 feet. And yeah, and then it's slowly giving me this really beautiful like wet sheen on there. And I think, oh, there you go. So I think it's also growing some new leaves right here. Yay. By the way, it's unrelated, but I really like the new growth of Hoyas because they always look like someone is stabbing. Yeah. or like someone is doing this. But yeah, so this is my Hoya Tortoise agensis. So yep, there we go. So the next one I want to show you, it's also one of my favorites, and I grew this out from like a 3-4 leaves unrooted cutting, and now it have, I don't know, like 10 leaves maybe. And this is my Hoya tomatiensis. And as you can see, obviously the top, that is closest to the grow lights, have this really beautiful red. And the one that is a little bit farther than the grow light, it's also have some red tints, but it's not quite as red. And I just really like this one because of this red leaves, but the vein is still like lime green. So it's just this really beautiful contrast. As you can see, the new grow, it's coming out as red as well, but it's just how most of the Hoyas new grow look like. But yeah, so I really like this one. It's a very small plant, as you can see, but considering I grew it from like a 3 or 4 leaves unrooted cutting, I'm really happy on how this look right now. So yep, Hoya tomatiensis. All right. So since we are talking about new grow, I'm gonna show you this one. So this is my Hoya Spa Mini Cantiana. I got this from Gardino Nursery again. And as you can see, it have this really beautiful like red leaves, on top, and the bottom one it's obviously a little bit greener. But you can also see the rim, like the edge, it's also really red because of the lights that I give it. So now, I noticed another thing about like the whole sun-kissed or suntan or sun-stressed look of Hoyas is even though when it first came, the plant doesn't look like, the plant doesn't have any red at all. When you give it more lights than it's previously had, the new grow actually would go out red. Even though the bottom leaves, like the older leaves, are not changing like color that much. So I think it's just because the continuous exposure of bright light for this new leaf since it first start forming, it just kind of like basically stress it out at the very beginning, and it just keep coming in red. And I really especially like this one because it looks like a small red heart. So yeah, really cute compact species, Hoya Spa Mini Cantiana. Awesome. Alright, so next I want to show you 2 plants. Yes. So I know we talk a lot about how lighting condition can really like determine if the Hoya is gonna turn red. But lighting is not the only reason or only condition that determine how red or how much color a Hoya will turn when exposed to bright light. So the other observation that I have through the experiments that I did was genetics also play a big role in determining how red the Hoyas turn. So meaning that, you know, even if they're the same species, you're giving it the same environment, meaning the same lightings or same duration, same intensity of light, they can still turn red in a different degree. So the next two plants I'm going to show you are the same species, but I got it from two separate growers. And you would have seen this if you watch my plant twins video. And this is my Hoya Gating. So Hoya Spa Gating. So this one I got from, this is the first one I got from Rick and Swiffer's Hoya. By the way, he is amazing. He has such beautiful plant. So check him out on Facebook if you want to. And so when I first got this from Rick, it is not red really. It's just this like 1-2 green leaves, really beautiful winging. So as I put it in the grow light, it's slowly the edge slowly turn red, and then there's like new growth coming out. So yeah, this is a really beautiful specimen. However, I also have my second Gating that I got from Unsolicited Plants Talk, which is run by Espoma. She's amazing. You guys should totally check out her website. But anyway, look at this guy. So this guy turned really red, as you can see. Now, it wasn't this red when I first got it. I'm going to put a picture somewhere on the screen to show you what it's originally looked like. But yeah, so it's decided that under the same exact grow light condition of Rick's Gating, it's want to turn really red. It is so red at a point that like I am worried that I'm considering like pulling it back from the grow light, because you know technically when you give the light, give a lot of light to get the color, you're stressing out your Hoyas, right? So I want to make sure that, you know, I don't damage any crucial structure of the plant like the chlorophyll, right? Because otherwise it won't be able to make food, it won't be able to grow. So yeah, but as you can see, these two plants, it's in the same exact environment. I got them at around the same time. They are under the same grow light. They are under the same distance, like they're at the same distance of the grow light, which is about 10 inches. But yeah, they suntan very differently. So this is what I mean by, you know, because maybe they're different clones, they have different genetics. Maybe April's, Gating have more anthocyans than Rick. Or, you know, whatever the genetic profiles, differentiation is, they look different. So that's what I meant by it's not only the matter of the lights, but it's also matter of the plants. All right, so the next one I want to show you is, it's also on the rarer side of Hoyas. And I got like two of this because I separate, one big plant. Because it's easier. And this is my Hoya chicken farm. So Hoya Spa chicken farm. Don't ask me why is it called chicken farm. There's all kind of speculation. I think some people say it's because it's found next to a chicken farm. Some people say it's because of the color of the flower. But anyway. So as you can see, this one also have a really beautiful red tints on it. And if you look really close, you can see some pink spot as well. So yeah, so it's not just red, but sometimes, again, depends on the pH of the plants. It can be pink, it can be red, it can be black, it can be purple. So that's that. Hoya chicken farm, Spa chicken farm. Really like this one. It's really beautiful. Okay, so now we talk about all the red. Let's talk about different colors, right? So the first one I want to show you, remember we said that it could be black. The anthocyanins can induce the black pigment, and I think it will be best illustrated by the Hoya croniana black leaves. So yeah, you can see like this guy is really dark. Like, I mean, it's not entirely black, but as you can see, like, it's dark, really dark green, I guess. And the reason I want to point this out is because my friend, actually, I just literally talked to my friend, and then he sent me this picture of his croniana black leaves. and it doesn't look like this at all. The seller sold it to him as a Kronliana blackleaf, but then it looked like a regular Kronliana, which is like, you know, just green. And, you know, I told him that, okay, it could be because of the lighting, try to give him more light. And I literally just talked to him today, and, you know, he sent me, oh, not today, yesterday, and he sent me the picture, and it actually does look a lot darker. So, you know, that's why I want to show you this. If you get a Kronliana blackleaf that is not so dark or so black, try to give it more light, because essentially the black pigmentation, it's also induced by the anthocyanins, and yeah, if you give it more light, you stress it out a little bit, it will give you more color. So yay, really beautiful. All right, the last plant I want to show you have a different color of anthocyanin, and this is my Hoya posii. So I know this is not a Hoya posii anymore. I think it's a Hoya verticillata. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's just so much changes that I can't keep up. But yeah, you can see this one. It's, instead of like a red color, it's more like a dark purple. I'm trying to show it. Yeah, so as you can see, same thing, you know, it's in the under the grow light. So if I move it closer, you can see that the color starting from the tip and then eventually move up. I know this is induced by the light, because when I first got it, the purple was just at the tip or the edge of the plants. But, you know, once I mount it up, right, so I can put it closer to the grow lights, it's actually start to give me more and more purple. I have no doubt that eventually it may go all the way purple, but we'll see. Yay, purple. All right, so that's all the Hoyas I have for you today. And one last thing before I forget, I want to remind you is, yes, it is very beautiful to you know, get those really beautiful color out of your Hoyas, but make sure that you keep a close eyes on them, because like I mentioned, you know, at the beginning, when you are giving it a lot of light, you're essentially, you know, forcing the plant to produce those pigment to protect the plant from sunburn. So it's a stressful thing for the plant, and that's why sometimes we hear this term sun stress, and that's exactly what it is. So just make sure you observe your plants. You know, like for example, like this one I show you, like I put it really under the close to the grow light, and it's, you know, giving me this beautiful color, but at the same time it's still giving me new growth, so I know that the plant is still healthy and still happy. And if you have a plant that it's turning this, like, you know, beautiful color, but it seems to be stressed out or not growing at all, you may want to consider, okay, am I stressing out the plants too much? And that's why I told you that I'm worried about the skunk gating, so I may actually, you know, pull it back, because I haven't seen, like for Rick's one, I see some new growth, but for this one, I haven't seen any new growth, even though they arrived at the same time and with the same condition, with the same fertilizer, and with the same watering. So I may consider putting this back a little bit. So yeah, I think that is the last word of caution I want to give you. And obviously, if you're gonna give your Hoya like the actual sun, also make sure that it's not too hot, because it may burn your leaves. So yep. All right, so now it's your turn. So make sure you leave a comment below and tell me what is your favorite sun-stressed Hoya, and if you have any other question related to this video. As always, if you like this video, make sure you click like. It's going to help me to produce more future video for you. And if you want more future video, make sure you click subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.